Hey guys, it's Adam from BrassBasement.com, formerly Adari Bros, and I've had a couple screen names over the years. I'm sitting here post Amherst. This was my first year actually at Amherst, and it was a really amazing show. If you've never been, that is the best show I've ever been to. In terms of size, I met a lot of good people that I've talked to online and never had the chance to meet. So it really was fun. But what I'm excited about is I'm sitting here with the brand new Tangent Scale Models International Car Company B&O I-18 Bay Window Caboose. This is the Chessie scheme as it appeared in 1973 on. They had some slight changes towards 76, 77. You can see all the details on Tangent's website. What I'm going to go do right now, we're going to start unboxing it. We're going to go through some of the details and features, and yeah, let's get right to the point. So you guys might notice right now I'm using my photo booth. That way just everything's the right color, at least when it's in the shot. We're going to give this a try. We might move to the layout later, but for now, this is what we're doing. So anyway, let's start with the box. You can see, here's the box. Move the camera a little bit. International Car Company Caboose. It has the nice diagram here. And you can see some interesting things in the diagram, like the drain pipe for the toilet, battery boxes, and brake lines. This is a pretty cool Tangent box. It's bigger than your normal Tangent box. I actually have a Tangent box sitting right next to me. Lo and behold, this is a normal Tangent box. This was for one of their G34. Oh no, this was for the B&O 059 Gone, which I probably have somewhere. But they normally are about this size, normal freight car size. But obviously this one is a little more robust. This is quite a bit bigger. So let's take the lid off. Recommended age 14 years and older, guys. So a few things in the box. When we open the box, the first thing we get a nice little manual with an exploded view, I believe. Actually, no. Let's open it up. We got some information. I'm going to hold it here so you guys can pause and read it if you would like. Give it a little movement so it doesn't blur anything. There you go. And this appears to be a double-sided one-page document. Here's the other side. Lighting instructions. These do have lights. The warranty policy. And replacement parts. Anyway, these went on sale Friday, and they weren't shipping until after Amherst, so I'm very lucky I was at Amherst to pick one up. So let's open it up. It's a nice foam box, brass-like almost, and there we go. So before I even take out the caboose, I'm going to grab this little thing out of the slot up here. This is our magnetic reed switch wand, very similar to that of the Rapido ones, and some other companies over the years have used them. This one, it's just a magnet on the end of a stick, basically. It's cool. This one has a nice Tangent logo on it, and it's nice and orange. It's cool. Put it to the side for now. What we really want to focus on is the caboose. B&O Chessie System 3001. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of the box, move the box to the side for you all. Here we go. Let it focus. So this is a nice plastic shell. It's one of those two-parters. You take the slide off, you lift the flap, and this provides great protection. If you've ever dropped one of these purposely, or even not on purpose, which I have, you'll know how great these boxes are and why a lot of these companies use them. So we're going to take that out. I'm going to move this box out of the way, put that down, and there we have it. Chessie System 3001. I viewed these on the first day of the show. I didn't really want to get one initially, but then I looked again, and then I looked again, and then I looked again, and I got one. And it's a beautiful caboose. It's not going to stay still, is it? Let me put a tool behind it. Well, it's not going to stay still with the tool. You can see some really interesting features. I really like the Vandal screens, and you can see they're etched. I'm going to try to let everything focus in for you. And one thing I'll also do, you'll probably already see it at this point, but I'll take some still photos and put them on top of this so that you guys can really see the details. So some interesting things that we're looking at right now, we're looking at the draft key side detail, which you can see right on the end platform. Right there. That little stick, let me hold this in place and use this actually. This little stick helps move the draft and whatever. I don't know all the stuff about some of the... I'm not the biggest true railroader, so if I'm getting some of this stuff wrong, I hope not, but you know, it happens. I know I am. Spectacular caboose. That's all I have to say. Let's turn it around. These steps are etch metal with fully accurate lettering throughout, and I'll try to post some photos too. You can see the marker lights here. These are box style, I believe, and they do light up. It takes track power, and you use the reed switch to turn them on. These have KD couplers, and I mean, just, I'll let you guys get an overall look of it, but this is a spectacular caboose. Absolutely spectacular. They call it a tangent level caboose, and I totally agree. Tangent models are known to be incredible, and well, this is. It even has a full interior, which you can't see, but I'll get a photo of the catalog, and it has a photo of it. There's no decoder or DCC board in it. So if you do want to add a function decoder for the lights, you might have to go through it and do some real rewiring. However, it really isn't that necessary. Again, it takes track power. It has a 10-second capacitor. So that should do it over any length of bad track. Not too many people know, but I'm actually a huge fan of the Chessie. I grew up in the Baltimore, D.C. area, and as a kid I do remember seeing a few CSX patch Chessie locomotives. So right behind it here I have a Spring Mills Depot I-12 caboose, which has been painted in the Chessie scheme. So both of these models are from companies that are fairly small. Spring Mills Depot produces only a few cars a year. Same with Tangent. And they're always, one thing I've learned from both companies is they're spectacular. Now I do want to say two things about these. The oranges on Chessie locomotives tend to be very hard. Some are too dark, some are too light. I think both models look good. You'd have to judge for yourself, really. But you can see right here just the definite difference. You can also just see the detail between the two of these cabooses. I mean, if you have a Chessie fleet, you absolutely have to get an I-18. The I-12, those would have been a little rarer even on the Chessie, but the I-18 here, this is spectacular. Let's take a look at the underbody. So one thing I want to say while I was turning the car carefully over, this model has some weight to it. It's pretty heavy, and I appreciate that in a Caboose. Cabooses weren't necessarily that heavy, but I like to think that a model that's a good quality model generally has some weight to it. You can see just how detailed this is. The brake lines, I mean, there's full brake rigging. This is brass level detail, absolutely brass level detail. You can see the etched metal see-through screens there. I'm hoping my camera's picking everything up. You can see the draft gearbox. I don't know the exact terms, sorry guys, but I know that if in real life the Caboose had been pushed too hard, these would have compensated. You can see the spring there. It would have been attached to the coupler on the end, and it would have moved so that the crew wouldn't be jostled too hard. Really a cool feature that they have it modeled. You can see there are two holes right here. That's where you would add your toilet box. After like 76, 77, I don't remember the exact date, they added a toilet box that would collect the dirty water, and it would be chlorinated, and once it filled up it would be dumped. But in the old days it would just be dropped right on the track. So very interesting detail there. You can see the pickups on this truck in particular, and it's all-wheel pickup, so you know it has a 10-second capacitor, all-wheel pickup. You're never gonna lose your lights. It's really cool. So we're at the layout. Here's the Caboose. I'm going to show you all the lights. You can actually see the rear marker lights are currently on, and the front ones actually are too. It's a little hard to see. They are very dim. That's okay, because very honestly, most of the time you're not going to be able to see them. They were very small marker lights in real life. So to turn the marker lights on and off, you simply take your reed switch, or you take your magnet and activate the reed switch. Very easy. Does it on the front too. I don't know if you can see it, hopefully. Yep. And then there is one on the inside, but it is very dim. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights off. So you can actually see they are on right now. Let me see if I can turn them off. Hopefully the camera will refocus here. It decided it was too dark to try to focus on the Chessie Caboose. It wants to focus on what's brighter. Sorry about that. You know, that's what I get for using an old camera. Okay, so that's off. That's on. So the reed switch for the lights on the inside is in the middle of the car. They are very, very dim. Very, 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 very dim. Now, Tangent told me they were supposed to be dim. And honestly, I don't totally mind. One, you're not going to really often see the interior, but I think they might just be a little too dim, very honestly. A friend of mine was saying to me yesterday that layouts look most alive when you actually have a little bit of lighting. Sometimes lighting needs to be scaled down, because obviously you can't have a super, super, super bright light on a model. But sometimes it gets too dim, and it loses a little bit of life. So that's just my opinion on it. These are very nice. Let me show you how there's the marker light one, and the other ones. And it's a very easy system to use, very similar to what Rapido did. So let me keep telling you about these Cabooses. So these cars retail for $89.95. That's what I paid, and that's what most people will end up paying. Tangent doesn't generally have a lot of discounts. The lights function on both DC and DCC. There is an undecorated kit available, which retails for $59.95. That's a pretty cool deal. If you want to build a specific one, something that they either don't offer right now or maybe a fantasy one, you get that. And it's a really cool kit. Comes with all the details for all the different variants. Talk to them if you're interested in one of them. Obviously, they have Facebook. The exterior and interior lighting, I mean, it operates with a wand. That's pretty cool. And, this Caboose hasn't been done ever. To my knowledge, it hasn't been done in brass. Definitely hasn't been done in plastic, because otherwise they wouldn't do it at least well. And these Cabooses operated all the way from 65 when the B&O built them as I-18s, all the way through CSX. And I asked them about that, actually. I said, do you think there will be a CSX or any other versions in the future? They obviously didn't say yes or no. They like to keep it a little bit of a secret. And that's understandable. But what I was told is they have some ideas for future models. And I would expect a CSX one to show up in the future. So anyway, this is the tangent scale models. I-18 Caboose. Let me zoom out on this. There's the B&O one. If you're interested in one of these, go to Tangent's website or to your local Tangent dealer. Probably the biggest discount you'll find on one of these is about $5. These are amazing models. If you're a Chessie fan, they have 5 different variations of Chessie paint. 1973, which is what this one is. They have 2 safety Cabooses. They have a repaint for 1980, and then they have a faded version, 1982. Plus, they have the B&O original OG 1968 paint. I guess not OG, because they were built in 65. There must be a difference. But anyway, spectacular models. Tangent stuff is always top of the line. I can never find any issues with them. They always run well, or track well rather, and the level of detail rivals anything in brass when they do it, which I appreciate as a brass guy, obviously. These look amazing behind any brass or high quality plastic, like the Chessie GM50 you see, an Southern Genesis model. I hope this review, unboxing, helps you all decide if you're interested in one. If you have the opportunity to get one of these, and if you're a Chessie fan, you absolutely have to get 1 or 2 or 3. They're going to be rare when they're gone. They'll probably be gone and you won't see a rerun for a long time, if ever. Like the Spring Mills Depot Caboose here, that will probably never be done again. And it's, these plastic models are getting rarer and rarer. I was talking to a friend yesterday about particular Rapido pieces, and some of them are really hard to get. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please come, if you have any questions, please send me an email. It's BrassBasement@gmail.com. I'm happy to talk to you guys about trains, and hopefully I'll meet some of you at the next train show. I generally go to the Timonium train shows, so if you live around Timonium, let me know, or DC, and would love to meet up at some point. Anyway, I hope you all have a blessed January. I know it's been a rough start to the year, but the world's an interesting place. So rest in peace, Kobe. The yellow's for you today, and yeah.